President Trump ordered the creation of a litigation task force to challenge state AI laws. Disney's deal with OpenAI is about controlling the future of copyright. And Amazon's AI-generated recap tool did not watch Fallout very closely. It's Friday, December 12th, and here is a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. On Thursday evening, President Donald Trump signed an executive order calling for a single nationwide regulatory framework governing artificial intelligence at the expense of the ability of different states to regulate the nascent technology. The order stated, "To win, United States AI companies must be free to innovate without cumbersome regulation, but excessive state regulation thwarts this imperative." As was expected after a draft of the order leaked earlier this week, the centerpiece of the document is an AI litigation task force whose sole responsibility shall be to challenge state AI laws inconsistent with the president's policy vision. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has 30 days to create the task force, which shall meet regularly with the White House's AI and crypto czar, David Sacks. As laid out in the president's AI action plan from July, the administration will also limit states with onerous AI laws from accessing federal funding. Specifically, the Secretary of Commerce will target funding available under the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program, which is a $42.5 billion effort to expand high-speed internet access in rural communities. Advocacy groups were quick to criticize the president's order. Alexandra Givens, president and CEO of the Center for Democracy and Technology, said this executive order is designed to chill state-level action to provide oversight and accountability for the developers and deployers of AI systems, while doing nothing to address the real and documented harms these systems create. States that take steps to protect their residents from such harms should not be subject to threats of legal attacks, nor should the administration punish rural Americans by threatening to withhold funding for the broadband services that could connect them to AI in the first place. It is worth noting President Trump's previous attempts to curb the ability of states to regulate AI as they see fit has proven unpopular across the political spectrum. As part of his One Big Beautiful Bill, the president attempted to impose a 10-year moratorium on state-level AI regulation. That clause was eventually removed from the legislation in a decisive 99-1 vote by the Senate. Disney and OpenAI announced a 3-year licensing agreement this week. Starting next year, ChatGPT and Sora can generate images and videos incorporating Disney IP, including more than 200 characters from the company's stable of Star Wars, Pixar, and Marvel brands. Now, to say these companies make for strange bedfellows is kind of an understatement. The agreement brings together two parties with very different public stances on copyright. Before OpenAI released Sora, the company reportedly notified studios and talent agencies they would need to opt out of having their work appear in the new app. The company later backtracked on that stance. Now, before that, OpenAI admitted in a regulatory filing it would be impossible to train today's leading AI models without using copyrighted materials. By contrast, Disney takes copyright law very seriously. In fact, you could argue no other company has done more to shape U.S. copyright law than Disney. For example, there's the Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act, which is more derisively known as the Mickey Mouse Protection Act. The law effectively froze the advancement of the public domain in the U.S., with Disney being the greatest beneficiary. It was only last year that the company's copyright for Steamboat Willie expired, 95 years after Walt Disney first created the iconic cartoon. On the face of this agreement, it is unclear how OpenAI is getting much value out of the deal. As part of the pact, Disney will host a curated selection of Sora-generated videos on its streaming platform, Disney+, legitimizing the medium of AI-generated video in a way it has not been before. But it would appear Disney has the option to spotlight as much or little of it as it sees fit. Additionally, the $1 billion that Disney agreed to invest in OpenAI is a drop in the ocean for a company that is expected to burn through more cash in 5 years than Uber, Tesla, Amazon, and Spotify did combined before they became profitable. If anything, the addition of Disney characters is likely to make operating ChatGPT and Sora more expensive for OpenAI. The company will now need to pay a licensing fee on top of the cost of running its servers to generate images and videos. At this stage, it's also hard to put a value on Disney's pledge to use OpenAI's APIs. The company has said those tools will enable new products, tools, and experiences, including some found inside of Disney+. But beyond that, it hasn't shared specifics. And so there's a lot more to Igor Bonifacic's article about the Disney OpenAI deal, and you can read the rest at Engadget.com. Amazon's plan to offer AI-generated recaps of Prime Video shows is not off to a great start. The company's recap of the first season of Fallout features multiple errors, including basic facts about the plot of the show. Besides being somewhat dry, the AI-generated recap incorrectly identifies the time period of the show's Los Angeles set flashbacks as being the 1950s, when they're actually 2077. The Fallout franchise is set in an alternate history that diverged from our real one after 1945. So, as Gizmodo noted, the recap also seems to misunderstand the ending of the first season, which sets up Season 2's partnership between Vault Dweller Lucy and the Ghoul, an irradiated wastelander with a personal connection to the mystery at the heart of the first season. While the recap suggests Amazon's AI system can successfully combine clips, music, and dialogue into a coherent video, it apparently lacks an understanding of the details. The inaccuracies in this recap will not prevent anyone from enjoying the second season of the show, but they don't exactly inspire confidence in Amazon's tool either. It also seems like a problem that could have been easily solved by having a human employee who's watched the show review the video before it was uploaded. Unfortunately, Amazon's lack of AI quality control extends beyond recaps of its shows and into the dubs of the shows themselves. Earlier this week, the company pulled AI-generated voiceover tracks for Banana Fish and other anime because of how bad they sounded. It would not be surprising if this recap gets pulled, corrected, and re-uploaded as well. As Amazon adds more AI-generated content to its platform, users are bound to discover more ways it comes up short. The company's audience is too big, and AI is apparently still too unreliable for it to be avoided. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and a whole lot more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Igor Bonifacic and Ian Carlos Campbell, and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer by an actual person. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.